Hey, there we are. I'm trying something a little different with the recording here, so hopefully it's not awful. Hopefully it actually records well. You'll notice I'm still using the microphone on the webcam, and that is because the cables that arrived last week were wrong. They shipped the wrong cables. I ordered the correct cables, and they shipped the wrong cables. So they're on the way. It's gonna take however longer it's gonna take for them to get here from New York. And in the meantime, I'm gonna have to figure out something else to do with my setup. I've kind of been screwing around with it here and there to try and get things better. So hopefully things will actually be better even than they are now when those cables do arrive. A couple of other things that have been going on. You might be able to hear it right now. I guess you can't see my hand saying you might be able to hear it right now. Because the way I've got the webcam set up right now, it's filming full HD, which is something I've never done before. It's filming full HD with 30 frames per second, which is a lot faster than I thought it was capable of doing on this system. But at the same time, it's as a result, it's shrunk the field of view considerably. But what you can hear, maybe, it's raining. It's raining for the first time in ever this year. Well, okay, that's not true. It's rained before this year. It has not rained much this year, so this is good. We're actually getting a decent amount of rain tonight, so I'm really happy about that. Let's see here, what else? I mentioned in my last vlog that I was going to try and do some Atari 2600 videos, and I actually did. I've got a few recorded. I just haven't actually put them together, and you might have noticed that today I actually didn't even upload a video. Hey, bud, come on over. Come on over. You're okay. There he is. You can't see him because he's dark gray and also below the field of view, but my cat just jumped in my lap. Anyway, I made a few videos, but like I said, I didn't even upload a video today. I've been so ungodly busy with everything else that I haven't had time to upload anything else, and so I probably won't even upload anything tomorrow. I'd like to, anything other than this video. I'd like to, but it's probably not going to happen, just because I don't have the time. I've been busy at work. I've built four new computer systems in the last week, and it doesn't sound like a whole lot, because it's like, well, you're putting together a computer, right? It's all relatively easy, right? Well, for the most part, you'd be right. It is. It's incredibly simple, but it takes a lot of time, and also all of these computer systems have to have certain software installed on them. So that software takes time to install. It takes a lot of time to configure to be correct, and then it has to go out in the field, and we have to make sure that all the hardware works, everything connects correctly, all the drivers work. So it's just been a lot of time, and in addition to that, we've been trying to get this one telescope working. It's been a royal pain. We're almost there, but again, every waking moment has been spent working, and so I've just been as a result, I have not had the time to even process my videos, much less upload them. Because uploading them, that doesn't take any time at all, but processing them does. I have to sync the sound and make sure that all of the sound is synced correctly, is mixed correctly, there's a decent balance of audio. So it ends up being an endeavor and one video just to get it to the state that it will render. You know, it can take upwards of an hour for me to get that far, and I don't have upwards of an hour for most days. This right here is the first free time I've had since Thursday, so it's been a little crazy. I remember what I was going to mention. This is good news. I'm very excited about this. I already have a system that is capable of playing Famicom games. That is, games for what we in America would consider the Japanese Nintendo Entertainment System. Even though that's not what it is, it's the Famicom, it's the family computer. And really, the Nintendo Entertainment System is capable of playing those games as well. You just need a converter to actually, because the pin number is wrong. But I do actually have something that is capable of playing these Famicom games already. It's called a Super Joy 3. It's a little Chinese-made. They're called Nintendo chip or Nintendo on a chip. That's what they're called. And just this little CPU that processes Nintendo games and allows you to play them. Unfortunately, now in this case, Super Joy 3s, some did and some did not have the ability to play Famicom games. The one I have does have the ability to play Famicom games. However, it doesn't have the ability to play all Famicom games. Some Famicom games, for example, require a microphone that is on the second controller of the Famicom itself. And other games require... There's a cattail in my face. Other games require certain aspects of the hardware that this particular chip just can't emulate, or just doesn't emulate. For example, Fire Emblem. I've never been able to get Fire Emblem to work on this system. Well, finally this week, I managed to get a Famicom. Now, it's not here yet. It's still in Japan. It's being packaged and it's being shipped here. Just in the past, the difficulty has been the cost of it, but this one in particular, I was able to get it for relatively cheap. Actually, I got it for the same price that I paid for my NES. So I'm really excited about that, and that includes shipping. I'm really excited about that, and when it gets here, I'll be able to play Famicom games. Not that you would notice any difference between an NES game and a Famicom game, because, again, they're the same system, they're just in different countries. But there were games that were released exclusively in Japan for the Famicom that you can't get on the NES. Such games as the aforementioned Fire Emblem games. Mother was only released on the Famicom. A game that I'm particularly excited to experience. I've actually already played it a little bit because it will play on my Super Joy 3, but I got a copy of Takeshi's Challenge, which it's if you watch JonTron, you've seen his take on this game, and it's a very fun video. If you haven't seen it, I strongly suggest going to watch it. But if you're watching this, you've almost certainly watched it, just because JonTron is infinitely more well known than I am. So if you're watching this, you've probably already seen it. But if you haven't seen it, go now. Seriously, go. I might even put an annotation like right here in the video to click on that. If I can figure out, I've never actually done annotations before, so if I can figure out how to do it, I'll put an annotation there. Anyway, what was I... Yeah, his take on Takeshi's Challenge. It's hilarious, but it glosses over a lot of the game, and actually it makes it sound a lot harder than it really is. This is coming from somebody who grew up with E.T. the Extraterrestrial. So I know from hard games. Takeshi's Challenge is difficult, to be sure. It's a royal bitch to play this game, and JonTron is absolutely correct in his assessment that there is way too much trial and error in this game. There are so many things that can go wrong that if they do go wrong, you can't beat the game. But at the same time, it's actually not difficult to just play the game the way it's intended. And, something else I noticed, he keeps talking about, you die, game over. And it's like, yeah, that is true. That's absolutely true. If you die, game over. Or you can pause the game at any time and get a password for where you are in the game. And then when you die, you can enter the password at any time. It's not a one-use password. You can use it at any time to get back to the exact same place you were. So it doesn't make any sense to me that he's talking about this stuff that, you have to go back and do this, and this again. It's like, it's really... And the messed up thing is, I don't speak Japanese. I mean, I took Japanese in college, so I know a little bit. I can read hiragana and katakana a little bit, but, I'm not well-versed in the language, and I can tell you exactly how to get the password from Takeshi's Challenge to let you play at any point in the game. So it seems odd that he would have this hang-up about the game that it's a non-issue. When there were other games in the same era that did not have that ability. They didn't even allow you to save. They didn't give you a password or anything like that. Or when you have such games as... sorry, the cat is really, really getting amorous here. When you have games like even Metroid, as much as I love Metroid, and I do, if I ever get around to playing it, the original Metroid frustrates me to no end, but I love it because it's a Metroid game, and just gameplay-wise, it is phenomenal. It's just hard as hell, which is what frustrates me. And it does. It has a password system, but that password, if you use it, you start out with 30 health. You have the energy tanks that you had, when you got the password, but you start with 30 health, and you start at the beginning of whatever level you were in. That much isn't a problem, because that was the case with... Well, it wasn't the case with other Metroids, but it's really not that big a deal to go back to where you were. But it is a big deal to have to start out with 30 health if, for example, you're in Kraid's lair. That's a royal bitch. Takeshi's Challenge does not have that problem. You start out the game with 4 hearts. When you use the password, you get however much health you had when you got the password back. Or you get 4 health back, 4 hearts back. And the thing is, those hearts aren't even a really good metric of what your health actually is. They don't determine, for example, you're not... every time you get hit, you don't lose a heart, or you don't even lose half a heart. You lose HP. And the HP is recorded in the pause menu. The hearts are there as a live metric, so you can see what exactly you're working with. Well, you can see roughly what you're working with, without having to worry too much about, pausing the game. Because if you pause the game, you reset all the enemy spawns, which means that, if you're, for example, in the middle of a barroom brawl, which is a part of the game, you have to... You can't pause in that scenario because, again, that would initiate an enemy respawn, and you can't do that. So, the hearts are there as a metric to give you an idea of how much health you still have. So it's not like you have 4 hits and game over. It's a lot more hits than that. Anyway, I'm ranting about Takeshi's Challenge, and I don't need to be. So in the coming weeks, whenever that actually gets here, it'll probably get here 2 weeks from today, which today is Wednesday, so 2 weeks from Wednesday it will be here, probably. and then I can start doing videos for the Famicom. So I may do Takeshi's Challenge. I don't think I'll do it first, but I will do it eventually. I'm just not sure, because it's like, I've got Takeshi's Challenge, I've got Fire Emblem, I've got Mother, I've got Fire Emblem Gaiden, which is a game that very few people even realize exists. Oh, I've got Final Fantasy III, the actual Final Fantasy III. What else? They're on a shelf over there. I've got Gradius. I can play Gradius. That could be a one-off even. I know I said it before, but I have done a few one-offs for the Atari 2600. I did E.T. and I did Jungle Hunt, so look forward to those. Look forward to those. Jungle Hunt's actually a decent... Well, no, it's not a decent game at all. I loved it when I was a kid, but it's not actually a good game. E.T. is just awful. Even though it actually follows a decent amount of good game mechanics. Just other parts of the game are flat out broken, and the parts of the game that require you that are actually good then have parts leading to them that are just awful. So it's not a good game by any means. But what was I talking about? I've forgotten. Anyway, I know I mentioned this before. I am writing scripts for kind of top 10 lists, which I should be able to start producing those tomorrow. Well, probably Thursday. But my HDMI card, my HDMI capture card, will be arriving tomorrow. So I'm excited for that. I'm very excited for that. I if it works, I'm like, yes! If it doesn't work, I'm going to be kind of pissed off, because it was an expensive card. But it does what it does. I do think it'll work. I hope it'll work. And if it does, and if I can get it, running on my computer, then I can start recording video for PS3 games, and Wii games, and Wii U games. So I won't be limiting myself to the composite video or the RF video games. I can then do the Wii the Wii, the Wii U, the PS3. I say Wii even though the Wii was not HDMI compatible, because my Wii is broken down, and so I use my Wii U to play Wii games. So the HDMI card in that case is a necessity, unfortunately. I know there was other stuff I was going to talk about. I've been doing a lot of genealogical research lately. If you're interested in that, I love doing genealogy, so that's kind of another of my fortes. And I've been kind of on another tangent related to my fortes. I've been developing a new technology that, if it works, will revolutionize the electric guitar. That should be pretty awesome. So, if it works. If it doesn't, then bummer. But if it works, it will be literally revolutionary. It will just completely undo everything that has happened before with the electric guitar. And that would be great if I could do that. What else was I going to talk about? I know there was so much more I was going to talk about. I still haven't experimented with the PAL yet. I've been meaning to, and I just haven't done it. Oh. I'm looking at my shelf to try and decide, to try and figure out if there was something else I was going to talk about on the shelf, but I don't think there was. I guess I don't really have much else to talk about right now. I'm going to go see a doctor in a month for a number of health problems that have, well, I've known about them for years, but because I have only recently obtained health insurance, only recently have I been able to afford a doctor to actually professionally look at me instead of going to the free clinic and have them say, well, you're fine, take pills, and, like ibuprofen, you'll be okay. It's like, no, this isn't something that ibuprofen can fix. I know that, and I know a real doctor will tell me that. So, and I know that because I went to a real doctor for this problem when I was 26, and that real doctor told me, yes, very definitively, you've got something seriously wrong with you. But anyway, so that should be fun, and if it happens, if it works out, then I might actually be able to do some more stuff. Anyway, I'm rambling. I've been meaning to talk about, well, no, I won't talk. I was going to say I was going to talk about some of the scripts that I'm writing for the top 10 videos, but no, you'll see those. I think you'll really enjoy them. They're going to be kind of off the wall, but that's the whole point. I want to be off the wall. I want to be, I don't want to be lol random, but, I want to be entertaining. That's what I want. So, that's what's going to happen. That's what I hope is going to happen. Anyway, what else? What else? I guess nothing, because I sat here in silence for 5 seconds. So, you can't really see this hand when I do that. So, yeah. Goodbye. I'll see you in the next vlog. I'll see you in the next video. It'll be entertaining, hopefully. Bye.